What does the man get in return for that?
My presents.
Whoa! There's a lot more than makeup to look this good. I'm a solid 6.5. Are you kidding me? Do you know how much time it takes for me to go from a 2 to a 6.5? Coach Greg, in today's video, I'm new to the dating world, and so how much should I spend on a first date? Well, this guy takes to the street, says, how much is the most a guy should spend on a first date? The most. Wait till you see her answer. Her answer is, there is no most. Most? What do you mean, most? It's a minimum. And so this video is relatively viral, 31,000 comments. That's almost as many people hated on me for saying that you can go and hit on a girl at a gas station. Well, let's see what happens.
I feel like if I'm gonna get ready and I'm gonna use all my products to come out with you, I need like a minimum of $200. A minimum. That's like being nice.
A minimum of $200. I mean, what is she, an escort? Why are we paying a minimum of $200 to go on a date? First date, great date in case you're wondering, is going out for coffee. You want to keep it as cheap as possible. Why are you spending all your money on somebody you don't even know if you like? You want to get to know them, talk to them, and see them for who they are. The worst thing you can do on a first date is pretend you're something that you're not. Oh, I'm going to impress that girl. I'm going to take her to the most fancy restaurant in town. I'm going to spend $1,000. Why are you doing that? Don't you want to know if she likes you for you? Let's say you're Coach Greg and you have millions, if not billions of dollars. It's millions, it's not billions. Do you really want that person to only like you for your money? Or do you want them to like you for you? And so just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you spend all of it on a first date. On the first date, you talk back and forth. You are yourself, your authentic self. You ask them questions. What are their values, their morals? What do they like to do? What makes them tick? What are their dreams, their aspirations? You already know you like each other based on your looks, but you need to dig deep. You need to find out if they're worth your time so that you don't waste date after date dating somebody that's not going to work out. And so rather than impressing them with all the things you can do, just talk to them. And I would suggest coffee. And why coffee? Well, caffeine releases dopamine. And when there's dopamine, it makes you feel good. Perhaps drink a cup of coffee and go for a walk. Get in some exercise and chat. See if your personalities match, if you're getting a really good vibe.
I feel like if I'm gonna get ready and I'm gonna use all my products to come out with you, I need like a minimum of $200.
And so she's saying, if I have to spend all this time putting on my skin cream and my moisturizer, I had to wash my hair last night, I had to wipe my ass, then you owe me at least a $200 date. I mean, think of it. I actually put clothes on, I wiped my ass, I put on deodorant, I did my hair, I put on skin cream, maybe even some lip chap. And so you have to pay for all that. My skincare is expensive. $300 for this, $600 for that, $400 for this. And so you owe me a percentage of the products that I use on my body because I'm ridiculous and I spend thousands of dollars on skin cream. Really?
And what does the man get in return for that?
My presents.
So imagine if the guy's response was, well, I'm picking you up with a $100,000 vehicle, and so you need to spend at least $2,000 on yourself to get ready for my date because my car, it costs this much. I spent this much on gas and this much on that, and I went to the gym for 1,000 hours to look like this, and so you owe me. Really? This is ridiculous.
Just because you have to do your makeup?
Because I have to.
It's the attitude that she gives. He's like, just because you have to do up your makeup, and she's like, whoa. There's a lot more than makeup to look this good. I'm a solid 6.5. Are you kidding me? Do you know how much time it takes for me to go from a 2 to a 6.5?
My moisturizer is $400. My eye cream is $300. My serum.
And so my test 10 G-ball GH costs this much. And oh, don't forget about how many bottles of GO2 Max I bought to get my endurance. And do you know how many harder than last time pills I'm going to have to take to get harder than last time with your attitude? What are you talking about? So she's using her products on herself because, well, she wants to look presentable because why do you think people are going to date this woman? But imagine you find a girl like this and you still date them. What is wrong with you? Really, if a girl requires a minimum spend for you to go on a date, you don't want to date that woman. I mean, if she's an escort, sure, as long as it's legal, but you want to avoid girls that are using you just for the date.
It's not like I'm going to show up in sweats.
And so why can't she show up in sweats? Do you know what I look like on a first date half the time? Literally wearing my harder than last time clothing. I'm wearing a tank top and shorts. Who cares? You don't have to be fake to get someone to like you. And if they like you for you, they're not going to care what you're doing or what you're wearing. And so my advice, save the more expensive dates for later. Perhaps you like lifting weights. You could go to a cycling class, yoga, dance, do something fun, something where you can be yourself. And if they then like you for you and you get to know each other, then in the future, you can add on to it. And so there should be no pressure. And imagine you're single, and if you don't have a lot of money, how are you affording to spend $200 or more every single time you date? Perhaps you're on Tinder, Plenty of Fish, swipe up, down, right, whatever. And you're trying to meet people. It shouldn't cost you $200 to go and have a 15-minute conversation, decide if you like someone, yes or no. And so what happens is the guys feels used, the girls feeling used, everyone is feeling used when all we're trying to do is to find out if we actually like each other in the real world, not on swipe left, swipe right. You know how many times in my past I've gone on a date after meeting somebody on the internet? And you look at them and you're like, who are you? That is not the person that I signed up for. What are you, catfishing? What's wrong with you? And so unless you know the person and you already have chemistry, you know what they're like, and this is a first date, you need to keep it simple. You need to keep it down to the basics. Just talk and please be yourself. Don't pretend to be something you're not. If you pretend to be everything that she wants, you're that woman's dream. But you're not really being yourself. Eventually, when you act like yourself, she's not going to like you anymore. And then the relationship is doomed. Better to be your authentic self from the get-go, get to know each other, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. No harm, no foul. There are plenty more fish in this sea. There's lots of women out there. And men, of course there are. And so better to not waste your time, and you should know on the first date whether you want another. If the first date isn't good, you cut your losses. You keep going forward. What it costs you? $12 for a coffee? Who cares? And don't be afraid to ask the deeper questions. Most people are so afraid. They talk about surface level shit all the time. Perhaps it's drama, rumors, gossip. Try to dig deep. Don't judge a book by its cover. Many people judge me, they judge others. They think that this person's going to be a certain way because they lift weights or they have a tattoo or they dress a certain way, but nothing could be further from the truth. All you have to do is be willing to communicate. You have the basic attraction, you like the person, you get to know that person, and you like them for them. No matter what their history, their past, their ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter!
When the right person comes along and you're willing to talk, you're willing to communicate, the world is at your oyster. You can make it anything you want. You can do anything. Another big question people have is it okay to make the first move? Is it okay to lean in for the kiss? When can you do that? Well, if they're giving you signals that they like you, the conversation's going well, you're invested in it, people are listening, then why not? It's not disrespectful to try. What's disrespectful is not being in tune and listening to their feelings. If you lean in for the kiss and she leans back and you keep trying, well, that is annoying. Don't do that. If you do something that makes her comfortable, you simply say, oh, sorry, I didn't know that. I clearly like you, and move on. There's nothing wrong with trying. There's nothing wrong with making that attempt. The only thing that's wrong is if you react poorly to her reactions towards you. And so let me know in the comment section, do you think $200 is the minimum spend? Do you agree with me? Should it be the cheapest date possible? Let them like you for you, not for your money, not what you can do for them. There's plenty of time for that in the future. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. And of course, the cookbooks, the training books, Circle Diet Book, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line. You can show up on the first date wearing my clothes and saying, do you watch Coach Greg and chill? If she says yes, you got it made. If she doesn't watch Coach Greg, hey, her first red flag, she has 2 left. Interested in any of the supplements, the Harder Than Last Time supplements? We got so many here. Don't forget, code Greg 10% off. And until next time, I am out.